Thank you so much, HOD, for the kind introduction. MEC, my sister, Dr. Maboya, I've congratulated you on being appointed MEC. Fellow mathematics education scholar, I have to say congratulations publicly. I said on social media after your appointment that we know you, we have worked with you. And so I felt bold to say you have my support and my best wishes. And I say I felt bold because I know that these leadership positions are not easy. It doesn't matter how hard you work. They are not easy at all. But I know the strong woman that you are and the strong mathematics education scholar that you are. And you have my support and support of many other mathematics education scholars who know you from AMISA, from also the groundbreaking work that you did at the national, the basic education at national level. So it gives me great honor and pleasure at this moment to say congratulations in this august occasion, my sister. But we are here to celebrate. We're here to celebrate educators. And so, in preparing for this talk, I thought I should talk about 3 things. Why we should celebrate excellence. Because in my view, awards such as these ones are about a celebration of excellence. And so we've got to pause in all the jubilation and consider, why celebrate excellence? And I want to give 3 reasons. That's not to say those are the only reasons. I could give more. But I give 3 because I figured that's the number people remember in any occasion. If you've heard me talk at graduation ceremonies, I always say 3 things I wish someone had told me on my day of graduation. Not long ago, those who are following me on LinkedIn, I said to you 3 things that I wish someone had told me before I left school or before I left university. I did that with the students, postgraduate students at FabAcademic University recently. So I like doing 3 things. But it's because I'm forever noting 3 things. There are so many books on my laptop besides my biography that I have folders, and I have a folder of things that I wish someone had told me before I turned 21. So as I grow, I keep writing them. Before I became Vice Chancellor, before I moved to Cape Town. And so tonight, I want to reflect on 3 things. Why? 3 reasons why we should celebrate excellence. First, and by the way, the other reasons why I give them number is I know that this is the part of any event that everyone dreads. Like everyone wants the speech to happen, but nobody wants to hear it. So I want you, when I say number 3, you can say, thank you, Jesus. Number 1, we've got to celebrate excellence because excellence is rare. And whenever it appears, it attracts a lot of criticism. People are never just neutral when it comes to excellence or when excellence shows up. They either hate it or they like it. There's nothing in between. If people never say anything about you, whether they like you or they hate you and you're happy, that's okay, but you're not shaking any tree. So if you want excellence, then you must be ready for criticism and hatred from detractors. Of course, you must also be ready for truckloads of awards. Dang, I know both those. The detractors, and I've got every award you can think about in this country. I've won it. I'm about to turn 58, and I have a Lifetime Achievement Award already. So you think I don't know hatred and detractors? I know it. Anyone who's achieved any measure of excellence attracts criticism. You see, for us in academia, this is what we call impact. Excellence also is an indicator of not just quality, but impact. And this is how we measure it in academia. You see, in academia, we say your work has got impact. We look at your citations. Citations are about how often you get cited or how many times you've been cited. And then we even go to an extent of in which, how long did it take those citations to happen. We can go further to say who cites you and where are they. But here's the thing, we never check what those citations say. Note, those citations may be criticizing your work. They may be disagreeing with you. We still regard that as impact. Ask any librarian about citation indices, because the librarians help us extract it. And of course, as a scholar, I still get things into my email box every time someone cites my work in the world, anywhere, because I've put a notice, because it matters. It tells you who, it tells you which paper. You can go and read it if you want, right? But of course you can do a summation. Ask yourself, why is it that academics don't care whether that citation was positive or negative? This is because if your ideas don't shake us, we don't say anything. They are not worth disagreeing with. But that's the measure of excellence. It means your ideas matter. It means it matters to disagree with you. It means something to write a negative thing about you. If it doesn't mean anything, we don't write it. And that's what excellence attracts. It attracts detractors as much as it attracts praise. And so we're saying we want to celebrate it because it matters. But as we celebrate it because it matters, we also want you to understand the complexity of excellence. You see, tonight, it's an amazing event. And for me, as an educator and a scholar, it's wonderful to see young teachers. Having been a teacher-educator, I'm tempted to ask them, Dr. Maboya, which university do you come from? I'm tempted to follow them. What happens at the end of the year? How many of their learners do well? Where do they go? And how do they cope? So it's wonderful. But the message I'm giving with this, one reason why we're celebrating excellence is that if you want excellence, then you must be ready for the battle. As an individual, as a school, as a district, as a province, and as a country. That's how it works. This is one thing we don't tell our young people. And so many people grow up and they get to the top. And they've never seen the other side of excellence. I could talk more and more about the complexity of excellence. But let me get to the second one. Reason why we should celebrate excellence. We celebrate excellence, number 2. We celebrate excellence in order to show that we value it despite its complexity. And so with this celebration, we are saying to everyone who's watching, we're saying that this is who we want to be. This is who we want to be, not sometimes, not when it's comfortable, not when it's nice, not when you don't have a broken finger, not when you don't have a flu, but all the time. We want to value it. And you know, there's something, I love our democracy in South Africa. But you know, there's one thing that bothers me. It's almost like in South Africa, if you praise anything that's excellent, no, you are making other people feel unseen. Well, that's what excellence does. That's the downside of excellence. It invisibilizes others. It separates us. And until we are comfortable with it, we can forget about building any excellence anywhere in this country. My view is that this celebration is about saying we understand the complexity and we communicating that we value excellence despite the complexity of excellence. We're going to celebrate it, encourage it, build it. Build it in its diversity because we understand its complexity. But it doesn't mean we're going to give everyone an award. Come on. Excellence doesn't do that. Otherwise, how will you know? How will you know? We want to give a clear message that being good is not good enough. That's what we're trying to give, the message. We want excellence in its complexity. It is who we want to be, not sometimes, but all the times. Good is not good enough for us. We say we, as the education department is the Free State, are committed to excellence, are committed to producing great learners, great teachers. Of course, we are committed to building great schools. We are committed to building great universities, a great province, and a great country. Some of you might have read Jim Collins, who says, good is the enemy of great. Jim Collins says, good is an enemy of great. I don't know if you've read it, but very popular book at some stage. He argues that we don't have great schools because we've got good schools. They function. They produce learners, they go to university, but they're not great. They're just good. We don't have great churches because we've got good churches. The pastor comes, he preaches, he prays for people sometimes. And people are happy. We don't have great municipalities because we have good municipalities. So actually, the enemy of excellence is the fact that we've got good and we're comfortable with good. But with this event, the reason why we're celebrating excellence is because we're saying, because good is not good enough, we want excellence. So we're going to go for it. You know, we've got to build excellence to an extent that, remember that in number 1 I said it attracts negative? You know, I wake up in the morning and I know that the devil is troubled. I know that there are people who are hired and paid to check what I'm saying on my social media pages. That's why I've got so many followers. Thank you. I know that. They are paid. Hear me out. They are paid to write articles, to follow articles, good articles that are written about me, and to negate them. But that's what it means. If it didn't matter, they wouldn't do it. I mean, you would think they would be tired by now, right? No, they're still paid. But we've got to raise excellence. Our young people need to know that that is what you do. You face it, you keep your head up, you keep going. As an individual, as a school, as a province, you keep doing it. Even if you get shifted from that school because the hate was too much, wherever you go, you light the fire. Wherever you go, yes! You light the fire. I know it sounds like a joke. Oh, watch me, darling. Light the fire. Whether I'm up sailing or going up Kilimanjaro, light the fire. Number 3, we're celebrating excellence because we are saying, remember that number 3 is the last one. Hey, hey. It is at this point where you say, thank you, Jesus. Yes. If you like it too much, we double the price. I'm an entrepreneur. Did you see that? Yeah. You like it too much, so you got to pretend like you don't like it. I'm joking, man. Come on. You got to make money. Anyway, number 3. The third reason why we're celebrating excellence is that we are saying, lest we forget. Human beings are amazing creatures, you know. They forget very easily. So through these kinds of celebrations, so through this celebration of excellence tonight, we are creating a memoriam so that we never forget. We are creating what I call a moment of power. When I talk to young people, I say to them, you've got to collect your moments of power. And I think it's not just for young people. I collect my moments of power. I started a long time ago. I write a lot. So I would write them down. I have a folder in my computer that would say moments of power. But of course, now I don't. I just click on Google. Google gives them to me. I just say, YouTube, Kgethi speeches. If I like, I say Kgethi Setati. If I like, I say Mamokgethi Phakeng. They pop up and I listen to it. You know why you do that? You remind yourself of when you were powerful. And you do that when things are tough, because this is the world. Doesn't matter how excellent you are, there'll be a day when the chips are down, when the detractors are getting the better of you. And that's when you call up this moment of power to remind you that, hey, John, that's you right there. You won. The teacher, mathematics, FET mathematics teacher of the year in the Free State. You, John, yes, you. It may not feel like it today, but watch the pictures. That's you right there. You can think it's not important. Let me tell you, it's important for the best of us. I know I need it. And so that's why I like these kinds of events, these kinds of celebrations, because they're about creating a memoriam so that we never forget. As individuals, as institutions, as organizations, as the province, as the country, as the continent, moments of power are important. So when critics tell you as an individual that you are not as good enough as you think you are, or you're not even what Kgethi talked about, excellence, remind yourself. Remind yourself. And you remember, by the way, this detractor, this critique has to be there. Otherwise, it is not excellence. That's why I'm saying, so that you remember that. That's why they're there. Don't be deterred. But it's just lest you forget when you feel weak. But it's also for the province. It's also for the districts, literally Putswa. Mufutsa nyana. Mulema, lirile ngwe ke mulema. Motheo. Mudiri mulema iko northwest, not here. Yes. So it's for you as a district to remind yourself that, you know, times may be hard now. As a district director, hey, times are hard now. But you know, we know we can do this thing. Hey, and let me tell you, human beings forget. Very easy. You know, I know that very well. You know, when I took over UCT, it was in shutdown. It was in shutdown. Do you know that nobody remembers? Parents don't remember that their children used to write exams in February before I became vice chancellor and stopped the nonsense. I didn't call the police, no. I vowed that I'll never call the police or private security on students. I don't have to do that. I'm a black mother. But I can tell them to stop the nonsense. I can tell them to stop the nonsense. Like, because I'm not scared to where they're occupying, right? So, but people have forgotten. Let me tell you, people are going to forget those awards that you get in today. There will be a time when they've forgotten completely. It's like it's never happened. Like, oh, really, he once got an award. Oh, wow. Yes. People have forgotten how bad it was at UCT. Not for 1 year, since 2015, since Rhodes fell. It was like, when I took office, one of the things I used to do was to count the number of academic days we were losing. And I said to them, they must be 0. Otherwise, there's no university here. We might as well close shop. People have forgotten that suicide cases were double digits. Yes. People forgot that it used to be an agenda item at the executive and at council. And within 6 months, it was off the agenda. Nobody was talking about it. Why? Because we deal with it. We get to the root of why. Did it mean all of them? We didn't eradicate it within 6 months, but it went down drastically. I remember that the first year, only 1 student, it's 1 too many, of course. But I kept thinking, people don't even remember. All they can say is how harsh you are. Well, I had to be harsh, to stop a shutdown without police. You must be bloody harsh. They will call you a bully at some stage. Because you don't play games. There's no police, you are the police. You don't call the police. You are not criminalizing students. You are teaching them manners. And you are saying to academics, you get on with the work. It's been nice. Because when it's shut down, academics can sit at home. It's executives who are struggling. We don't sleep, So, soon, people will not remember. This should serve as a reminder. So in conclusion, remember I said 3, right? In conclusion, we celebrate, and I told you there are 3 things. And in conclusion, I want to say to you, after we celebrate, then what? What next? I say to young people, achievements expired. I know you don't get it. Here's the thing. The fact that you got 4 distinctions at matric and I had no distinctions is so irrelevant. Do you know that? I had no distinctions at matric. Do you think anybody cares? No. No. And here's the time I say it expires. I say to young people, every 5 years, there's going to be a new thing that you're celebrating. After 5 years, you're still telling me about your matric results, please. Oh, please. What an embarrassment. And I reminded them at university, I said to them, young people, you think it's cool to do a degree for a long time. I say to them, you see, this is a 3-year degree. This is year number 5. You are still a matriculant. Of course, these are not popular news. Nobody tells young people. That's why they like you, right? But you're a matriculant if you don't get a degree. They say, yo, ouch, prof, that hit home. I say, you better get the degree. Do you know? I say to them, do you know, even though you were celebrated, and then you became one of the few or the only one in your village or township who got accepted at UCT and you were the cheese girl. Do you know that some graduate from TUT is going to give you a job one day? Or you'll be begging them for a job. That makes them go crazy. I say to them, well, then decide what you want to do. Decide what you want to do. Why? Because moms are scared to tell them. So now let me break it down to you. We're celebrating you today. We'll celebrate you next year and so on. You keep this as a moment of power, but know that when you get here, the next level should be here. You see, I went up Kilimanjaro. Mount Kenya means nothing. I went to Bikwe, it means nothing. The fact that it's the highest in Botswana, oh please. As soon as I landed and I opened my laptop after Kilimanjaro, I got an invitation to go to Everest. That's how it goes. So you get here, then you start talking to, suddenly I'm in conversations with people who have gone onto the highest mountain on every continent. Can you see how it's like? I never knew that these people existed before. Suddenly, these people exist. Now I know the mountain in South America and the highest mountain in whatever. Now, you've set a standard for yourself. Go for it. Every day ask yourself, how do I sustain the excellent performance that I achieved? How do I make sure that it continues? This is a challenge for any achiever. And we need to make sure that we don't let our guard down when it comes to education. It is key. There's no economy without an educated nation, without education in a nation. And you know, the way things are going, we don't want educators or teachers to be irrelevant with the AI. So make yourself relevant and continue to achieve excellence. So congratulations to all of you. Congratulations to the schools, to the teachers, to the districts, to the province. I know you're going to national, and it's going to be rough. Whatever happens, Oksalayo, you are the winner in the Free State. Hold that trophy. You are the winner in the Free State. Hold it proud. And if someone from another province wins, well, my advice is maybe you want to chat to them. Maybe you want to visit their classroom. You may want to visit their classroom. We've got to introduce a new culture in this country, in education. We've got to make sure that the brightest wants to be like us and that are attracted to teaching. So congratulations to everyone and enjoy your evening. Thank you.
Yeah, let's give a round of applause again, please. It's not every day that I get a hug from the prof. You would have noted before she came to speak, she called me to a table and gave me